Hello. Uh, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well today. I am doing great, but I broke my finger. I broke my finger. So I'm not really in the best of moods. Overall, I'm like, optimistic, but there's this like underlying pain and having to take medication and blah blah blah. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about in this video is the the power of like trying and what that looks like on like multiple levels of trying, right? So the reason I want to speak about this is because I know a lot of us, if not all of us, are trying right now. We're all trying really hard. We all have goals and we all have dreams, we all have aspirations, and the reason that we have those things is because we can achieve them. So by deduction, I'm assuming that we're all trying, and it's sunny as hell too. And I wanted to speak about like my perspective on what that looks like at multiple levels, so that maybe you can know whether you're on the right path or not on the right path. And I'm not perfect, so I'll also be like kind of learning as we go, but I feel like there are kind of a lot of indicators as to whether what you're trying is meant for you or it's not meant for you, or you're on the right path or you're not on the right path. So yeah, I think I'll go down it like list by list, but this is all off the dome. So number one is if doubt creeps in. If doubt creeps in, then it's a pretty good indicator that you're on the right path, because that doubt is your old self being scared of not existing anymore. That doubt is all the voices that you've had either while growing up or doing what you're doing, all the voices that say no, and all the voices that like try and beat you down. That doubt is them trying to keep you exactly where you're at. So if you have doubt, the reason that that's like a really good indicator is because you clearly have reached a new level of like awareness within what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're trying to accomplish, to the point where you have doubt, to the point where maybe you're doing something that nobody else has like really done before, or nobody that's around you has any expertise in. So that doubt, I know that it feels bad, and it's okay for it to feel bad. It's really okay for things to feel bad. Don't run away from that feeling. Hug that feeling very closely and say, it's okay. We will make it through this, together. One way to know that you're on the wrong path, in my opinion, is if everybody agrees with you, right? Because if everybody agrees with you, that means that you might not have haters, right? And having haters is very, very important on the path of like trying, and on the path of like not just trying but like succeeding as well. If you don't have a single person hating on you, then you might be either playing it way too safe, or you might be in the completely wrong direction. Because if you just have yes men around you, then you have no real criticism, you have no real like direction in terms of figuring out where you would even like to go, because you don't know what you don't know. I don't know what I don't know. But if everybody around you or around me is just like, yeah, that's totally, this is the way, and nobody tries to like sabotage me or like talk bad behind my back, or like tell me straight to my face, or like poke holes in it, then that's one way that I definitely know I'm in the wrong. So I'll give an example with myself. I made this app. It's called Zari Vault, coming out soon on all platforms. And so it's basically a way for people to reliably and consistently show their important documents. So your ID, your passport, your insert document here, and there's up to 8 document types supported right now. And so going from the inception of this idea, which started from a conversation with like my younger cousins, to a full-blown app that I'm now like putting on all platforms, that there were so many conversations and so many I guess moments where okay, moments where I felt that maybe I would, moments where I felt, maybe this isn't gonna work out, or maybe this, like, this is just so hard, and it's like I keep running into errors, and I don't even know how to code, and it's like so many moments where I myself wanted to give up. But the part of the thing that kept me going was when people would firstly validate the problem, because I can't push a product to market without actually validating that problem, right? And then number 2, they would try to poke holes in it. So they'd be like, oh, but or like, let me say, oh, but doesn't someone else already do it before? Oh, didn't the president already announce it? Oh, didn't, and all these things can be like, it can sound like concern, but the way that I interpret it and internalize it is like you're low-key, and this might not be their intention, this is just my outlook on it because it fuels me, I use it as fuel, but it's like you're low-key trying to be right and for me to be wrong, and I'm never wrong. I'm never wrong. So now I have to prove you wrong. Now it's on me to prove you wrong, and now it's insane, like, and it's just gonna keep going up. But anyway, yeah, that's just as an example of how I knew that I was kind of going in the right direction. So another thing with trying, right, is that within trying, you will fail. We all fail. We all fail all the time. I'm seeing a kid ride a bike right now. It's like riding a bike. The first time, you probably weren't, a Red Bull BMX biker, when you first hopped on. And everybody knows this. Like, I know what I'm saying sounds very simple, but it's like we forget, bro. We forget because, this world really tries to distract us all the time and make us forget, like, what do they call fundamentals, like or first principles of anything. Before you can win, bro, you have to fail. And if you do win on let's say your first try with minimal effort, then what ends up happening is like you'll take it for granted, and or they call it beginner's luck, right? And with beginner's luck, if someone doesn't understand that they still have to put in work within that beginner's luck, excuse me, what ends up happening is they take it for granted, and then suddenly they're like 27 talking about how they were first place in sprints in primary school because that was easy to them then, but now it's like you're 27 talking about primary school, and this stuff happens, bro. This stuff happens, bro, in terms of like taking beginner's luck for granted. So on your way to winning, because you will win, trust me, I already know you will win beyond like your wildest dreams. You will win. It's not a guessing game. I'm just giving you like signs so that you can kind of like I guess reassure yourself as well. But like, so number 1, or I can't really remember. I didn't write any of this down. I need like a whiteboard. I need to get like a whiteboard or something. But like, so you will have haters. Number 2 is if people don't poke holes in your idea or your goals or your dreams, then they're not big enough, right? And so on the tangent of you will fail, failure is not a bad thing at all. And in school, and this is part of the reason I don't like school, but in school, even though I graduated, but in school with distinctions. But okay, so in school they kind of reinforce this mentality that failing is bad, and you kind of have to be like ostracized almost for failing. But what they don't teach you is that school is not life. School is literally not real life. There are so many people, and you can try and shut me down or whatever. I'm not advocating for or against, but there are so many people that didn't go to school that are super successful in life. You know what I mean? And we've all seen examples of this. I'm not saying that that's, the average or whatever, but the mentality that failure, maybe I should move this further, but the mentality that failure means that you've lost, is not something that exists in life. And winning and losing don't even really exist. It's all relative, to your own desires, your own experience. Nobody can tell. Once you leave Sgela, or school, no one can tell you like, because you didn't. What example? Because you didn't find 5 rand on the floor today, you're a loser. Do you get how like stupid that sounds? And that's how society has kind of been set up. If you just extrapolate that, like trying to put it on other people, when at the end of the day it's all internal. If I feel like a winner, bro, and I had to kind of cultivate that, because it is a feeling that you should cultivate. If I feel like a winner, then no one else can make me feel like a loser, which is why I'm saying like you will win, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your desires are, whether they're big or small. Remember, it's all relative, and you will win. And so, but you'll never win if you don't try. You'll never win if you don't try to win. And it's so cliche. What is it like? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that's because if you don't even get on the court, bro, how do you expect to score? And it's very comfortable on the sidelines, because then you can talk, you can have a fat chat. You can have a fat chat with the boys, with the dollies, and like, and you can commentate, bro, and you can talk smack. It's so nice. It's so nice. But you've never been on the field, and the people that are on the field get to like try, and when they win, you know what the commentators do? It's crickets now. Even though, because now people are watching, especially in this age of social media and stuff. People are, and they call them like monitoring spirits, whatever. People are just watching, okay? So you never know who's watching, and you never know who's gonna see you win, right? But nobody will ever see you win if you don't put yourself out there. And that's only in the example of social media. If we talk about business, right? If you never pitch your business plan, if you never submit for VC funding, venture capital funding, if you never if you never try, then you will never get there. And I'm turning 25 this year, bro, and I can proudly say at least I have like tried, and I continue to try all the time, and the people around me will tell you, my friends will tell you, like, and again, I'm not perfect, right? But, and even my exes will tell you, bro, like, I tried, bro. They can never, no one that has known me in any real way can ever say that I never tried. And I take pride in that, because I've failed so much. I have failed so much, guys, like you. I don't think you understand, bro. I never failed like academically in the formative years in like primary and high school. Like I never failed a grade, but first term grade 8 bombed. you know when it's so bad. You know when it's so bad that there's kind of like an intervention. It's like, yo guys, what's going on? But I was just caught up in the vibes, and then but then again in my high school career, I got expelled. Boom, grade 10. boom, expelled. Then grade 11, boom, expelled. And it was for weed, bro. This was like in 2017 was the first time, right? Dude, and now it's 2026 and you can find it in, okay, but anyway, that's just like I take pride in that because number one, I am where I am right now. I didn't like give up. I keep trying every single day. And number two, because it just like affirmed me that I was just early. You might not be wrong. You might just be early, especially if you're still around the people that you grew up with, because they will always view you as like who you were when you first met. There's very little room for growth with people that you've known like your entire life, in terms of completely reshaping your identity. I don't mean that, to grow you need to like cut off everybody and stuff like that. Even though I spoke about that in my last video. But yeah, so dude, like just try, bro. And it's gonna feel, at least, I guess, a little bit embarrassing, maybe, for like a few seconds. It might feel a bit scary, which is actually good because it means that you're like doing something new. It might make you feel nauseous, so I make music and I perform and like make art and stuff. And that feeling like right before you're gonna get on stage, so and I'm mentioning all these things, or like maybe when you're gonna do a business presentation, maybe when you're gonna like I don't know what else can I extrapolate it to, like maybe you're an architect and you're about to like show your client your design for the first time. It's like, there's always these moments where if you want to, you can actually just give up and you can exit. But if you stick through that feeling, and you let the commentators and the spectators laugh at you, and you get to learn something, because that's actually what it is. Like failure is, and this is also cliche, but failure is literally just more information that you can learn from. Because the next time, let's say the next boardroom you walk in, they don't even know your past failures, but because of how you carry yourself and because of how you speak and what you have prepared, you get that deal like it's nothing, and that's also where I am right now, where it's like I can just assume that I get the deal. I can just assume that I get the close because I've failed so many times. Like if you knew that after 100 failures, right, you would get $1 billion, how fast would you want to fail? If it was guaranteed, like if I told you, bro, like if you come in dead last for this race 100 times, I'll give you $1 billion. How fast would you fail? And that's literally what life is, but society, again, doesn't really want us to know that, because if you have too many like, dope people, I guess, for lack of a better word, or too many go-getters, too many independent thinkers, then the structures that we have set up right now won't really survive. Yeah, basically fail as fast as you can, because then you have so much more information than someone that takes a failure and they're like, oh, I tried it, it didn't work, I'm not gonna try it for the next 3 months. Oh no, I can't try again for the next 3 months. Meanwhile, you have people like me out here that fail, and then the next day, yeah, boom. Like, bro, I broke my finger. What was it? I think it was like Monday or into Tuesday or something, and go to the hospital Wednesday, go Thursday. Today's Friday. I'm shooting this. I love you guys. You know what I mean? Like if I'm like, oh my god, like, dude, no, bruh. The world rewards urgency, and it rewards people that like keep going. I also lost my laptop, actually. That's a great example. I lost my laptop Saturday. Yeah, not this one, but I lost it on Saturday, and then it's Friday. I got it yesterday. You know what I mean? I got a new one yesterday, and it's not to say that, because quick tangent, bro. I actually got called. I got called a cheese boy for the first time this week, and I don't know how to feel about it. Cause I don't assume that you guys know me, but I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so to finally be called a cheese boy, I was like, okay. But they meant it as an insult, and they were kind of manic as well, so it's not like the best memory to recall. But so my point is that someone's perception of something is not the actual reality of what's going on. Someone can see me lose a laptop and get a new one quickly and think that it was easy because I make it look easy. I have a Libra rising, so I make things look easy, when that's not the case. But it's also like I blame myself, and that goes the same with trying, where you'll get so good after so many reps of failing that it's gonna look like second nature to you, and people are gonna take you for granted. People are gonna ask you for advice. The same people that were laughing like hyenas behind your back are gonna ask you for advice, and then also on top of that, they like, wait, I lost my train of thought. They're gonna ask you for advice, and on top of that, you're gonna make it look effortless. And then everyone around you at that point is also someone who has gone through the exact same things that you have, which is why, like, they say the top is lonely. I don't think the top is lonely. I think the top is like, you might just not like who's there, but it's definitely not lonely, because everybody there has kind of sacrificed a lot and like been driven to the edge of sanity. I'm talking about like my conceptualization of the top, not really the average conceptualization of the top, which is kind of like, a house, a car, or like average. You know what I mean? I think it was Harvey Specter. He's like, life is here and I'm here. yeah. But yeah, there's so much beauty in trying, and I think that I'm making this video because I would like to help you like reframe your mentality around failure, because of what we've been taught and because of what they keep trying to push onto us is failure. And when I say they, I mean society. So we also like reaffirm it within ourselves, and it's like nothing is failure, even until death, because death isn't like the end. It's not the end of our actual existence, but that's kind of a topic for another video. And it's like, people, one of the things I dislike the most, because I want to speak like positively, one of the things I dislike the most about people is that, like, they want to be right about other people's misfortune. And it's so like sick and twisted, like, and I'm guilty of this too sometimes. But it's like, if I tell someone don't do it, and then they're the type of person that learns from like experience, and then they do it anyways, why do I derive joy from them having that moment of like, fuck, I should have listened? It doesn't really help. But it's also like, oh, I told you so, I guess. Me rambling is a problem. You see this brandy, bro. But anyway, failure is one of the best things to like be introduced into this world, because then you're on the right path, especially if it's something that you really care about. Like, let's say you're someone that makes music, or let's say you're someone that paints, or you're a fashion designer, something in the arts world. I'll give examples for other industries, but you see how subjective everything is, how subjective taste and all of that is. It's the same way failure is, so it's the exact same way that success is, and nobody can take that away from you. If you work in like accounting or finance, then it's kind of given to you, like they call them KPIs, or key performance indicators, where you'll know what a failure is and you know what success is. But if that company is doing like over okay, it depends, but like with companies specifically, excuse me, revenue is all that matters. So if that company is doing over, let's say, $2 million in revenue, and 1 year they do 1.8, they see that as a failure, right? Which is like, it's extremely relative, because the other end of that, and feeling like, oh my god, I failed, oh no, the world is ending. The other end of that, like being on the receiving end of your goal, is like nonchalance. You don't even really care that much. You don't even really want the thing that much. You want how it makes you feel, right? And I'm open to being wrong, but it's like it's more of a projection of how you believe you will feel, and that's why we chase all these things, when in actuality it's like all within us at the end of the day, which is kind of it's kind of annoying, because the only way that my voice can matter at this point is because I got all these material things. If I didn't have all these material things, and I was still depressed, and I was still broke, and I was still, you know what I mean, not where I am now, then it would be like, oh dude, this guy's just talking out of his ass. But I still am talking out of my ass. It's just like I have more social proof, right? So yeah, dude, go to school, fail a lot, fail in ways that will actively make you better. You know, don't just fail in the same ways over and over, but actually try. And if you don't want to try, that is completely okay, but get out of the way of people that do want to try. Stay on the sidelines, stay spectating as you're meant to, and keep doing that, and let the people that want to try, let them try. Do not get in their way, especially with like I think most recently, like this past weekend, it really hit me that like as much as like, and I'm not a saint or whatever, but as much as I can have pure intentions towards something, it's like people might not receive that. So you might have pure intentions within you trying to do something. People might not view it that way at all. People might like take offense. People might become insecure. People might become envious. And then they might want to do something to you, you know, which is unfortunate, but it's also like, I view it as, okay, at least I learned now, you know, instead of like 2 years from now when I'm like a billionaire and like there's so much more to lose and yada yada yada. But yeah, sorry for my like low energy. I am in pain right now, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, morning, evening, and please keep trying. Please keep trying every day. Try today and tomorrow and the next day, please, and maybe the day after that, and also maybe the day after that one. Okay, cool, peace.